Hello again. Hey, hi. I didn't say okay. I didn't say okay as the first word. I said hello. This is a great advancement. Look at that character development. Aren't you proud of me, all of you guys? Okay, so we're at another 12 frames per second Toonkind. So this is... all of these seem to have had the engineer in, and that's not really what it's supposed to be. Eventually we will have games that don't feature him. But in this game, it is another acting lesson, so he has to be here. And this is the engineer. And if you can introduce yourself and your character, please, my friend.
I'm Cranky Teapot, and my character is Lucky Jack.
Yes. So anyone who's listened to the Calling All Stars game will know Lucky Jack already. If you haven't listened to that game, this will probably be very confusing, so I would recommend that you listen to that one first. I will put the link in the thing below. Okay. And yes, I think what we have to do is start off with you making a performance role, because you're working at Dodo Studios now, and as with the game with Tobias, we were like patching together a movie around the scenes that were filmed in Calling All Stars. So we're going to see how well you do, and you do have advantage because you're taking lessons from Engie.
Yeah. So that is performance. Give me a second. That's a D20 plus
+4, nice.
plus 5.
Plus 5.
Yeah, I forgot to update the fact that he's got 20 on charisma now.
Oh, jeez, yeah, you maxed out your charisma with that ability increase. My god, these stats. I have to say, my word. Anyway, he's called Lucky Jack.
So that's... yeah, so that's with advantage, yeah?
Yeah, so just, roll that twice and see how you do, my friend.
Okay, so it's D20 plus 5.
An 11.
First one's an 11.
A 20. Okay, yeah, better than an 11. He's very impressed. How are you feeling about this?
Jack is also very impressed.
You mean you're kind of surprised at how well this is going?
I'm sorry, I did not.
No, it's fine. It's just to see, like, how does he feel? How does he feel like working in this studio? And he's doing well, so like I'm sure he's like happy.
I think he's kind of excited.
Good. That's nice. Okay, yeah, so you film a bunch of scenes and you do very, very well, and afterwards the engineer, like, you know, as everyone's packing up for the day, comes over to you and says, "Well, that was astonishing. Great job, Jack. I'm very happy with your performance today." And you get a big hearty slap on the back.
Jack coughs slightly.
Yeah, I won't make you roll Constitution because that went badly for Tobias.
Oh no.
Yeah, and he beams with praise. Literally, like, he's glowing quite a bit. Because today went really, really well. All the takes are in the can, and yeah, this movie looks like it's going to be released on time, which is very, very good. So he says, well, I feel a bit like you may not need the help, but I did offer to give you more constructive criticism and acting lessons as best I can. Is there anything particularly that you would like to workshop with your abilities?
Don't think so. Sorry. Okay, sorry.
No, I mean, that's a fair answer. I mean, you may not... He might not feel like he does, because he's very good at this, obviously.
Yeah. Oh, yes, he's doing great.
The engineer does seem to find this amusing rather than irritating, because, he gives you a big laugh. He says, well, your confidence is justified, I cannot deny that. I have to admit, like, just, like, seeing you facing off with that snake, like, mouthing off against a gigantic snake, that was marvellous. You've got a lot of guts. It was, but you've got a lot of guts. Where does that come from? Is that why you chose this as a career? Is it just, like, you're that full of yourself, but in the best possible way?
Well, sorry, I just gotta get in the groove.
It's fine. It's early days, man. Also, it's early for me. It's 9:05 in the morning.
Yeah, 8 p.m. over here.
Aw. Yeah, we're filming this game, as it were, in two different countries. Cranky is in New Zealand, and I am in the UK. So, wow, that's some international recording.
Uh, oh, folks like actors, don't they?
He turns his head to the side and is like, "It depends on the actor. I mean, we get a fair share of hate mail, no matter how good you are. In fact, I think sometimes
Still
you get
attention
more.
in it.
Well, yes, all publicity is good publicity, or so I was told. Don't think I believe that after the past month. Uh, so, but yeah, he's basically saying, like, if you get more popular, you can get more attention of the wrong sort. So, popularity, is that why you chose this? You don't strike me as the kind of person who would be unpopular.
Well, a little more never hurt anyone.
He's trying to dig a little deeper. I think. May I roll like insights? He wants to see like if you've always
Yeah.
been like, yeah, if you've been popular or not, as the case may
Yes,
be.
you may.
Interesting. Okay, I think that's a +4. A 9. Hey, he doesn't get a read on you. Like, how do you sell this? Like, how do you blasé your way around this slightly sticky question?
Uh, well, um, Jack's like acting cool. Maybe he's like trying a little too hard.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Well, with a 9, the engineer is just going to go with it. Also, he's had a really good day, so he's not paying too much attention. He's like probably waving goodbye to some of the owls as they're heading home. So yeah, he just thinks you were very popular, you like to be popular, and that's why you got into showbiz. And he's kind of dead ended on that conversation piece. So you might want to ask him a question.
Uh, so how about you? How did you get into the showbiz? Engineer?
Me? Oh, well, you're the second person who's asked that to me in the past couple of weeks. And I haven't been asked that too often, which is surprising. He looks a little bit abashed, but, kind of pleased. He's pleased that you're actually, like, asking him about his career. Although part of him supposes that everybody knows, because, he's so famous. Egomaniac. He says, well, the first time I saw a film, it was one of the first films in Anquil. Was taken to the Lumiere Candlestick Brothers travelling show. Saw a piece of footage with a train heading out towards the screen. Half the audience died for cover, and the other half were just shell-shocked. I was in the front row and was just entranced. I think it was just like a beacon. I couldn't imagine doing anything else from that moment onwards. I'd always loved trains, so I'd always wanted to be an engineer. But as soon as I saw that I could do something more, that I could entertain people and do that, I was sold. I had to do it. I after the show, I actually went up to the brothers and asked them how the camera worked, and they didn't really think it was going to go anywhere. They thought it was just a travelling show, like a piece of entertainment that was a flash in the pan. But moving pictures, how could that not be marvelous? I don't know if it's something to do with being a toon, but I felt very in tune with it. So I think it was basically a calling. After that moment, I couldn't think of doing anything else with myself.
Yeah. Jack is like kind of. He looks kind of sour.
Oh, does he really? That's interesting. I mean, is this like just a very obvious expression? Because like the engineer would totally notice that. I mean,
He like maybe like a very slight but like it's definitely there, but he like as soon as he catches himself doing that kind of face, it's like gotta get back to smiling.
I think I'm gonna make another insight roll because, that's a very subtle change, but I want to see if the engineer catches it. 5? Are you joking? What are my rolls today? This is terrible. Okay, engineer was just having a happy time reliving his very early life, and it just turns to you with a big happy smile, like, yeah, he's still glowing, and is none the wiser that you had a negative reaction to this. Ooh, that was an interesting sound. I don't know what it was, but it was interesting.
Yeah. What now?
I don't know. I mean, like, he's looking at you to see what your response is. He hasn't caught your actual response, like your natural facial response. But he's expecting you to say something.
That's great that you had a calling. Yes.
Oh, sorry, do you not... Well, I know not many people do. You can go your whole life and not have a vocation, I suppose. I know lots of people who just go and do things from day to day and find satisfaction in that, but do you have anything that... I mean, you said you're working on your popularity, but do you have, like, a big goal, like an end goal? Do you want to be a director, producer, anything?
No. I'd like to be, and Jack is kind of like, he's actually kind of hidden his face, in his, like, hat, under his hat and coat, like, I wanna be someone.
You want to be someone, but you are someone, and he's actually irritated. How tall is Jack compared to the engineer, actually? I need a visual on that.
I know Jack is, like, somewhere in the mid-range for a Toon, kind of. So, like, not particularly tall, but definitely not as short as Colin is.
Okay, I think he has to, like, strain to reach, like, he's up on his tippy toes, but he can't actually manage to lean up against you and poke your hat up with a clawed finger to try and get a view of you. He's like, but you are someone! Have you not seen your acting? I thought you were confident.
Oh, I'm confident in that, I guess.
But you're not confident that you're a person?
It's something. Jack is very uncomfortable with being vulnerable with, new boss and everything.
Well, with his insight rolls so far, he's not going to pay attention to that. I don't think he would anyway. He's very much a deal with your problems face on, especially after some of the things he's been through. He's very much up in your grill, but he does relinquish and lets the hat down, if only because it's a bit difficult for him to do this pose, really on the stretch, so he has to go down into a squash to recover. He just looks kind of puzzled at you, and he stopped glowing because, he's not miserable, but he's kind of like, about this development.
Kind of baffled.
Yeah, very much so. He says, well, you are a puzzle, aren't you? You actually do remind me of someone I worked with before, but it's probably nothing.
Yeah?
I mean...
Jack is meanwhile, like, brushing himself off. Kind of, like, trying to shake off that wave of feels that suddenly showed up.
Yeah. I mean, I almost feel like you should do a performance or persuasion or deception to try and recover.
Yeah, let's say deception.
Mm-hmm. That feels valid.
5.
A 7. A 7. You don't do so good. Yeah, you're totally ruffled.
Oh no.
Oh dear. I mean, does this translate into your character design? I'm almost wondering at the moment.
As in...
Like,
I mean, I guess he just physically looks kind of ruffled.
Yeah, that's what I mean.
And... yeah.
little spare hairs sticking out from the ears, like the hat's a bit off kilter, rather than, you know, the sparkles and swooshes from the cape have settled down. Now it's just kind of play.
Yep.
Okay, so we don't need to work on your acting. That much is clear, but you've been acting a lot more than I was giving you credit for. He's sort of crossed his arms and is tapping a foot because he's figured you out. You're not confident. You have a problem. He's like, well, I'm not a psychologist or a therapist. I kind of really help you with your deep-seated problems. But if you want to talk about that, I have to coach you in all aspects that I can.
No, I don't need coaching in that, thank you very much.
You look like you do to me.
Yeah?
Hey, a little bit. Did you ever see the Majestic 11? Or, oh, he was also in The Good, the Bad, and the Lucky?
I think I've seen, yeah, I've seen a bit of the last two.
Aye, well, the Lucky, he was a sort of foppish looking goose, floppy curly hair. It's a bit over the top, but people thought he was kind of cute looking. Anyway, he was I will put it frankly, a complete pain in the backside. He was called Delta Song Danger. What a name. Anyway, we all called him Delta, but he was a cracking actor. I was really surprised. And he's actually taken a seat. He's got into his director's chair. And there's another one next to him if you want to sit down, obviously.
He's not sitting down.
Okay, yeah, you're really uncomfortable, huh? But yeah, he shrugs and he says, well, he was brilliant on screen. He was a bit of a nightmare on set. Just, what a peacock. Not a goose. That man was a peacock, that's for sure. But when I actually got him alone sometimes and got to talk to him, he was very insecure about a lot of things. And he didn't have a calling either. He took up acting as a kind of a something for fun, which actually got on my nerves. He's tapping a claw on the armchair's rest thing. The thing that you put your arm on. That thing, the armrest. I'm doing really well with words today. And he says, but you know, once I got into it, he kind of had the same issue as you. He didn't really know what to do with himself.
And did he figure it out?
Well, kind of. He was only going to do one movie, but I managed to persuade him to take another and gave him a key role. That was part of the persuasion. But he really got into it, and he didn't think it counted as work, fortunately. He had some sort of allergy to the concept of actual work. It was a bit strange. He said it was against his religion. But he actually committed to it, and he had a really good time. And then, well, and he looks kind of, his ears flop down, and he says, well, he passed away before he could do a third, which was really unfortunate, because I thought he was going places. But basically what I'm saying is, like, if you keep at this, you might carve out a calling for yourself. You might find something if you really apply yourself here.
Jack inhales and just says, like, kind of like, just thanks.
Okay.
He's not super. He's still not comfy.
Yeah.
He's like,
yeah.
what is this grandfatherly? Don't like this.
Yeah, he's also kind of picking up on that, and I think he gets a better read on that just because he is a family man, very much a family man. And he says, let's change the conversation. I don't know much about you. What about your past? I mean, not that it matters, and if you don't want to talk about it, I understand. There's a lot of us who don't. But, I mean, what about your family? Do you have a family?
See, Jack starts, like, counting on his fingers. About 16 siblings.
His jaw drops visibly.
12
Deal.
old, 12 older ones.
You're the 13th child in your family. Woof! Your parents, my word. Although it's probably some adoptions, maybe. I don't know. It's not my business. Oh, rabbits. That's right. You do go in for large families, don't you? Well, that's marvellous. I hope you had a happy upbringing.
Jack doesn't comment on it, like, just kind of like motions with his hand with her, like, yeah, probably.
Ooh. He
It
looks like...
was alright.
Okay. Yeah, so it's not like you were traumatized or anything.
Oh no, absolutely not.
Okay. Right, he doesn't feel too guilty about asking that question, and he's like, do you... This may be unrelated, but you seem to, like... You know, you say you don't have a calling, but you almost act like you don't want one. Is that... Am I completely misreading that?
Who wouldn't want a calling?
I thought I was misreading that. I mean, how about your family? What do they do?
We've got poets, we've got pilots, we've got an artist, I think maybe two. A whole bunch of folks. Baker.
Candlestick maker. And a butcher
Yep.
too, probably.
Yep.
He's kind of joking with you, but he's also thinking very hard. And he's like, well, it sounds like you've got a lot of high-flying, very accomplished people in your family. Do you feel a bit, I don't know, that sounds like there could be a lot of competition for attention in a family that size.
You think?
I do. Is that why you want to get popular? Is that it? Because I need to know the core of your ambitions if I'm going to use you to the best of your abilities.
Sure, let's say that. Sure.
Oh dear, that sounds like I annoyed him. Should I roll insight again?
Yeah, yes.
Oh dear. 10. He's completely clueless today, my god. I mean, he's very single-minded. He wants to understand as much as he can about you without breaking you, obviously, but it's just like he needs to know how best to use you because you're a really good actor and he wants to, you know, use you in positions and in roles that will help you and that you will suit. So I think he's actually just introspecting at the moment and running through his analysis of you right now. So you have free time to talk or run away. I hope you don't, but...
Yeah. Now, if I could think of something for him to say.
Well, you don't have to think of something to say. You could say, like, what Jack is thinking right now, like, what he's going through.
Jack just wants to do something that is not this psychoanalyzation. Psychoanalysis? That's the word.
Well, you may be in luck, but you may almost regret this decision, because, the engineer comes out of his stupor and is like, alright, I'm gonna give you a little exercise, and I mean an exercise is, have you got anything in the next hour? No, you don't, you're still on my hours, what am I talking about? Come over here! And he gets out of the chair and claps his hands, walks over, and you kind of recognise this section of the studio, and you recognise that curtain that you're heading towards.
Okay.
And he says, you probably remember old Bertha here, and he pulls aside the curtain.
You named it?
Of course he named it! He names all his machines. He made it himself. So, yeah, the curtain parts, and there is this horrific looking machine, which is currently turned off. And even when it's not moving, this thing is terrifying. In fact, you can probably hear the da-da-da-da-da-da-da music starting at a very Warner Brothers type of setup, this thing. And he says, I'm gonna put you through your paces, and, you know, it's a marvellous thing. Sometimes when you're physically occupied, your mind just clears, and you can see things that you couldn't before, and you just get focused on what you're doing. So, we didn't really give you a chance to show your physical capacities as an actor. I suspect that if you need work on anything, it may be that, because, yeah, the acting you got down. And he's gonna pull that lever unless you, like, say something very convincing to stop him.
Machine and more talking. Jack's gonna take the machine.
Very gutsy. He pulls the lever and it starts up with this and there are flames and there are spinning blades and there are spiky things that you don't want to land on, and the machine has started up. And there is a little platform up a set of steps. It's kind of like a diving board thing. So he says, alright, get up there. I'll put it on a random selection, but a low setting, because I don't want to completely tire you out, let's see. And he pushes a couple of levers. And this is where you see, like, the segments of this machine can rearrange themselves. What that means is I'm going to roll a d10 to see what you're going to face next. And I will do that right now, just to see which section you're going to start off with. Oh, good! It's that one! Okay. So he says, alright, in your own time. Oh, wait, one thing. And he scuttles up the steps next to you and he says, no capes. And he's expecting you to take your cape off.
Oh, Jack was absolutely gonna take his cape off. Also, he's gonna take his hat off because he doesn't want to be holding on to it the whole time.
Good move. He takes those from you and puts them very carefully aside, and then just
might as well take the tie off too.
yeah. Any things that are liable to get caught and strangle bits. You. Yeah, all good ideas. He puts them aside, and then he just, like, kind of leans up against the railing and is like, alright, off you go when you're ready.
Alright. Jack does, like, a quick run on the spot, and there he goes.
Okay, the first thing you have to do...
He's absolutely internally screaming, but...
Good for you, Jack. Bully. Okay, the first thing you have to deal with is this series of jets of flame, and they appear in bursts around you. It's like this kind of metal corridor. But the thing is, there is a pattern to it. So what you have to do for this is make an intelligence save.
Plus intelligence. That is +1.
A 19! You totally studied this out. You hesitate for long enough to, like, just, get a read on it. And you walk in the right pattern, and you don't get any singeing, and you hear applause just above, the roaring of this fire as you make it through this section. It's like, great job! Okay, next! And the next one you have to do is, there's something that... Oh, no, wait, not... No. You've got to roll the d10, Sari. It's not just reading the list. It's because we started with the first one. I got excited. Okay, it's that one. Oh, interesting. Okay. This is... It looks like nothing at all. It looks like just a sort of kind of plain rubber sheet. And that's what you can see. It's kind of bumpy. What are you going to do?
Jack does not trust this bumpy thing, so he's gonna investigate. Plus... Although...
Mm-hmm.
Okay, yeah, no, he's not completely... he doesn't have a complete lack of common sense, so he is gonna look before he jumps.
Yeah, I would advise that. 21. Oh my gosh, marvelous. Yeah, you very easily realize that this is a minefield.
Whoa.
Yeah. So you made that very sensible decision. And you know what? You got a nat 20, dude. I think I'm gonna have to let you just get through this. So yeah, you realize that while all of these bumps may not be mines, like you think like some of these are decoys. Even so, you don't rush through this. You delicately ballet dance your way through it. In fact, like, yeah, is there a visual you want to give us of Jack making his way carefully through this obstacle?
He's just kind of like doing like one hop, balancing on one leg, hopping over on the other. Just, yeah, tiptoes. Well, one tiptoe.
Yeah, you make it through.
Stick.
You make it through, and you do very, very well. He's very relieved about this, and that's number 6. Okay, this one's fun. Okay, immediately after that, in contrast to the fire, you kind of get a little bit of a spray in advance of this one, because this section has really high-powered jets of water, and they are set to push you back into this minefield, so you need to make a strength check.
That's just a plain D20 because he is a noodle. That's an 8.
That's an 8. That is, like, you manage to forge your way, like, partway through, and then you just get pushed back, and you're right on the verge of this minefield, and you're about to topple into it. Is there anything you want to do?
He is... Well, right now he's just flailing his arms. Let me see if there's anything he can do.
Well, you do have those very special abilities. It's just something I'm going to remind you of.
Yeah. So... He can call... I'm gonna have him cast Expeditious Retreat so he can dash.
Okay. I will... The thing is, this is kind of like a balance situation.
Oh, okay. So he can't dash. Okay,
There's certainly other things in this that you can use that, for sure, but I feel like this one is just kind of like... This is more of an on the crux of the moment that doesn't quite sit right to me.
Alright.
You have lots of magical spells.
Yeah, I'm looking through those magical spells.
And also don't underestimate the fact that you're a toon. Like, if you can make an argument for, like, pulling a part of yourself off and using it in an entertaining way, I'm totally down with that.
Yeah, I can't think of anything right now. Oh no.
No, it's fine. But the other thing I was thinking about is, you know, Jack has a very interesting relationship with his luck.
Oh, right. Okay. You know what? Yeah, might as well flip the coin, because...
Okay, do you want to describe to people listening what coin flip is? Because you have invented this, and I love this.
Yes, so a coin flip is an ability Jack can do once a day. Well, once per long rest. Mm-hmm. Which basically allows him to either get a nat 20 or nat 1. One of the two, 50-50.
Mm-hmm. So we're about to find out which way that goes.
Yep. So he's playing... I completely forgot about the coin flip. Oh, wait. That's a...
I was going to say, that's a nothing. That doesn't mean anything.
That's a nothing. There we go.
It doesn't need the R, you just need the exclamation mark.
Oh my god, I keep forgetting.
It's okay, there's lots of different dice balls. Oh!
That's a nat 1.
That's a nat 1! That's a nat 1. You windmill your arms, and then you stand up and you think you've got it, but because you just stood straight back up, you get pushed in the face by this water, and you bounce twice backwards into this minefield, and you hear that telltale around you, and yeah. What do you say before the explosion?
Oh no. It's just a very small oh no.
Yeah, we then cut very wide, and there is a large sort of of very black smoke that comes off from this section, and you see the engineer sort of porter-face, he's like, "You alright?" And you take 4, because this is largely like a visual explosion. It's kind of like to shake you up, it's not to injure you, but you still take 4 bludgeoning damage.
He's fine.
I think for, like, at least the rest of, you know, getting out of this minefield, you are completely black. You have been soot bombed.
Yep, covered in soot head to toe. You can just see his little red eyes.
At least red eyes. At least you're gonna get washed off, because you still have to figure your way out through this water thing. And instead of a strength check, you can invent a way to get through this. I will now say.
Okay. Yep. Invent away, invent away. Any pattern to? Is it just like one big jet?
It's pretty much like, yeah, you have to forge your way through it. It is a strength test, but I will say, like, Expeditious Retreat would work here.
Okay, he's doing that.
Okay, you zoom your way through it, and that extra added speed is enough to make your way through it, and you get a nice shower, but you're very, very, very wet after this. And next we have... Oh, fun. Okay, yeah, this one is just very much, what's it called? Is it American Ninja or something? Anyway, it's very much like an obstacle course classic. There are boxing gloves on hydraulic-powered sticks, and they are randomly punching out of these walls either side of a very narrow little plank in the middle that you have to walk down. So this is definitely dexterity time. But, if you make an argument, you can use acrobatics or athletics.
But acrobatics is D20 plus 3. Oh my gosh, I've been forgetting to add my proficiency bonus this whole time.
Really? Oh no. Well, it's been entertaining, so...
Yeah, and plus it has, I did, like, the stuff I failed at, I did not have proficiency in.
Yeah.
So.
Oh dear.
Well.
A 7! A 7. Do you want to tell me how badly this goes? Because you know the setup.
Jack is like, he thinks he's got this, he's, like, very confident, he's like, yeah, and then it's like, he takes like one step and off he goes.
Gee. And again, like, we sort of... I think it's a wide overhead shot, and it's very much like Wile E. Coyote disappearing into the canyon. He's just going to pump from the bottom. Goodbye. And again, we see the engineer's kind of leaning on the railing, doing the pinching his nose thing. He's like, there's a ladder, you can get back up on either side, it's fine, just carry on.
I got this time.
Yeah, are you going to try it again? That's very good.
Yes, he's going to try it again. He's a stubborn little guy.
That's good. The engineer respects that.
D20 plus 5 again.
An 8. Okay.
Maybe he gets like one punching glove in, and he like looks back like, ha! I stepped past that one, and he thinks he's safe. He is not.
And again, we hear wee pump, and you're.
Do I take any damage for this?
Oh gosh, you probably should actually. I think especially after 2 fails. Yeah, I'm gonna make you take a d6. You take 4. You take 4 bludgeoning damage from variously being punched and falling off this thing. And the engineer says it's like, alright, we'll pass on this one. We'll work on that one-on-one later. I can give you some sparring lessons.
One last time.
Are you sure, laddie?
They do say third time's the charm.
Alright, up you go. And yeah, he's just kind of like, do I call the medics at this point? 14. I'm gonna say that it's kind of ungainly. There's a lot of almost falling off the pole, and then
and plus
almost...
he's been punched twice and blown up, so
yeah. I think you actually do take 1 boxing glove, like, towards the end. You actually do get hit, but you recover and you stay on the plank. And
he clings to the boxing glove until he's back on the plank.
Yeah, and it's just like shooting in and out with you hanging on to it. Oh, marvelous. Okay, you make it to the end. And in fact, this was like probably the best way this could have gone, because you have just proven that you can really sink your teeth into something, and like you are stubborn enough to get through something even if you've taken damage and been humiliated. And you hear a sort of whoop, a cheer as you make it towards the end. He's like, "That's my lad, carry on, go on, show who's boss." And you're on to the next obstacle. Okay, that's oh, we actually already okay. So okay. Well, I mean, this is like very similar, as it were. There are giant axes and circular saws that are like kind of circling this. It's like a rectangle that is turning that you have to cross, but there are swinging blades above it, and there are circular saws traveling around it. If it was a video game level, it'd be a bugger to stay on top of this thing. But in fact, you have to just cross this. And again, I'm going to let you approach this however you like. Like, if there's a spell you want to use, if there is a particular ability, score, roll that you want to use. This is a carte blanche, basically.
I don't think he has anything that would work in this situation.
This is, yeah, that's unfortunate. But, you still have, like, the basics. You have acrobatics, you have athletics.
Yeah. You know what, let's keep going with acrobatics.
Mm-hmm. There is a strong focus on needing to be good at that in this studio.
Yeah.
We're not in DJ Moves' studio.
He's on one hand, I'm regretting, I do wish I could have used the coin flip here.
Oh, but, you do have another thing though, don't you?
Alright, yeah, I do have the other ability, which I forgot to name. I mean, no, tipping the scales.
That's
tipping
it.
The scales.
I was trying to remember what it's called, but yeah, you have another lucky
thing. Jack still prefers this over talking.
Wow, no deep-seated issues there.
So tipping the scales is he can re-roll something, but he has to take the roll that is closer to a nat 1 or nat 20 out of the two.
Yeah.
Or the first roll if they're about the same.
Yeah. Okay.
So that's a d20.
So
that's okay. D20 plus 5.
22. 22.
17. Yeah, that's the 22.
Yeah. You want to describe how amazingly cool this looks?
Yes, I do. He's like, you know how toons do, squash and stretch. He just squashes and stretches his way over there.
Marvelous. It's very good. You do lots of good loopy smear frames and overshoots that look like you're about to get your ears cut off, but then you whip back and they're fine, and yeah, you make it to the end, and you have got sort of cheering happening. And it's not just the engineer now, like there's a couple of other people who've realised what's going on, and you have a small audience of owls who are just like, this is amazing, they haven't seen anybody get this far and not die. Or need to be rescued, I mean. Yes, you only have a couple of things left to do. Okay, yeah, I think the next one is... This one is a bit mean, especially because you've gone through all of this stuff. But this is a rotating climbing frame. It's like a metal structure that's suspended, and you have to clamber your way along it, but largely, like, basically hanging off it, it looks like. So very much Constitution, this one.
Okay, so Constitution, that's 16 plus... not 16, that's a d20 plus 3.
And
it's
11. 11. You get... I think you don't actually fall off for an 11, but you get about halfway and you're absolutely exhausted. You know, when you've been hanging onto something and your arms are just, like, burning and your hands are like, I cannot do this anymore.
Like, his arms have, like, stretched out.
Yeah. But that's when you feel, like, this kind of wave of encouragement coming towards you, because you have this crowd who are like, don't give up, you can do it, I believe in you, you're fantastic, and there's a lot of people who are cheering you on, so you get advantage, so please roll again. An 11! An 11. You managed to go like a tiny bit further, but it is too much and you fall off. Fortunately, you're above a big squashy mat, so you don't take any damage. And there's a kind of collective but it's like, they're not too disappointed because it's like, that one is really rough. Everybody here who's had to do this is just like, yeah, that one got me too. But you're very close to the end, and you can scramble up the ladder that helps you out of that pit, and you're at the finish line. And this is fun because this is the showy finale. So there are explosive rockets that are going to fire as you try to jump through a burning hoop of fire. And the whole point of this is to make it look good. So this is like, you can do a dex if you want, but the whole point of it is charisma. So this is actually a charisma save.
Excellent.
Because you never get to see a charisma save. I've never played a game where someone's made me do that.
Jack sees this and he's just like, yes, I love this, I want to do this.
An 18! It's wonderful! You, again, like, do you want to take the reins with this? Describe how amazing you look.
I don't know. Yeah, I mean, I don't know, same as the, no, Jack wouldn't he'd try to, like, somehow, like, flare it up, especially if it's a charisma save. I think he just dances through it.
Yeah, you dance through it, and it almost kind of goes into semi-slow motion as you do, and, like, maybe you wink at the fourth wall, and there's a bit of subsurface scattering going on as these explosions go off around you. And yeah, you look incredibly cool, and you stick the landing, and everybody goes bananas, and it's a great finale, and you did a fantastic job. Yeah, the engineer.
As soon as he stands back up, he just sits down and flops on his back.
The engineer comes up to you and he says, well, it wasn't a flawless run, but it's better than the vast majority. You did very well, and I would shake your hands, but I have a feeling they might fall off after that climbing through. I'm sorry about that.
A bit wobbly. They're like a little more noodly than usual.
Oh dear. And he whistles, and an owl comes over with a tray of health potions. And I'm not going to make you roll to heal. You just, like, yeah, you get that health back. Because this isn't a studio that's going to let you walk away with those injuries. It's not that mean. And yeah, you recover. And he says, well, how do you feel after accomplishing that? I mean, come on, you got to feel something.
Feel great.
That's what
I'm very tired.
Hear.
My arms are very tired.
Hey, that'll get well, it might get better or it might get worse. We'll see what I'm gonna put you through. I've got an idea, in fact, for you three. I need another. Maybe that witch that I met the other time. Anyway, I'm gonna have to talk shop with some other people, but I think I've got a set of movies that'd suit you and Tobias and Merch just great. It'll have to be a trilogy though. I'll have to extend your contract by another movie. How's that?
I mean, as long as I get to do stunts.
Oh, you will do stunts, my lad. You will do some stunts. And there's something a bit ominous about the smile he's just given you. And I suspect we're close to the end here, unless there's like another topic of conversation you want to cover.
Oh, I'm good.
Cool. Okay, yeah, he helps you up and carries you, like, you've got one arm over his shoulder and one on a random owl who is now kind of your biggest fan because, wow, you looked cool. She's very blushing. She thinks you're just the bee's knees, Jack. With that charisma, who wouldn't? So yeah, you had a successful encounter with the engineer and his acting lesson. He's still a bit puzzled about you, but he's hoping that, you know, by putting you through your paces and working you pretty hard, that you're actually going to find meaning in making films with him. That's also partly why he's extended your contract, because he's actually kind of a, you know, he's very much a granddad figure, and he wants you to have a purpose in life, even if it is just living for the next film.
Nice.
Yeah. Okay, and I think that's the natural point at which this game ends. I hope you had a fun time.
Time.
Yeah. Is there anything else you want to say?
No. Thanks for the game. It was really cool.
No, that's fine. Sorry for like throwing a lot of conversation at you at the beginning. That was quite a lot of personal questions.
No, that's all right. Yeah.
Jack is such a cool character. I just like you gotta know more about him and his family. So many drawings. Yeah, I think Cranky is like Cranky and Cell just produce so much art. It's amazing. It's so amazing to watch on this Discord how much everybody churns out, but you two are amazing to me. Okay. Anyway, shall I stop recording? Is this fine?
Yeah.
Okie dokie. Thanks everybody for listening. I will get around to March's acting lesson when I have recovered from this, and potentially a game I have to play at the weekend, which I'm terrified about. Okay! Goodbye, everybody. Do you want to say goodbye, Frankie?
Bye.
Bye. There.